The customer is supplying the brakes, which makes my life easier. Plus we're undercover and it's raining as usual. So let's get stuck into it, eh? So this is the Range Rover Sport, but it's like the diesel version. It's got massive brakes up the front. And he reckons he does a lot of towing and whatnot, so he's going to need some pads and rotors because he reckons he's getting a bit of a shudder when he's braking. Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. Definitely, yeah, I was using a smaller jack for a while and it was not cutting it. That's for sure. Well, the way this works is these pads are being held in by these two pins. So we got to knock these out, and then we got to so this guy is now accessible. These do go on a certain way, so got to make sure to put that on right. From there, one more. Now the thing is, these are very, very easily serviced because of the style. So you got to imagine, like, these have like the same kind of these cartridge style calipers as like WRXs and HSVs and all this kind of stuff, which make them like real good for, say, if you're like on the track and you got an issue. It's like 2 bolts, bang, rip it off, go again type thing. He's not reusing this stuff. And push it in like that.
Yeah, still a lot of meat on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, it doesn't really matter if the plate's a bit warped.
Yeah, it's better to do them both because you don't know if these are worn uneven, damage, this, that, the other.
Yep.
But it's one of those ones where for an additional whatever it costs, you won't have to worry about it later. You know what I mean? In terms of whatever those pads cost, you won't have to worry about any issues in the future. You know what I mean? Alright, got them out. Temporarily. Take this guy out here. Big rotors. What they say about big rotors, mate. Big brakes. Bang, there's one. Alright, now let's give it a bit of a clean up.
What is that, like a brake cleaner?
Yep. With a touch of anti-seize, so we don't have any heavy corrosion issues in the future.
I prefer just to stay with what was originally on there. I found the braking pretty good, you know?
Yeah. So this is a geomat finish. So what that means is when I drive off, you're going to hear, but I just have to, when I come back from the test drive, it'll be nice and shiny. Because these pads are so new, these pistons don't really need to go that far in. So
you have to squeeze them up too much.
Yeah, so I might just be able to get away with just doing this.
Trapping the piston back in.
Yeah. There we go. That looks a bit better. Alright, now look at all that brake dust. Obviously it's the little things like when I grease everything up and whatnot later, you'll see a few other extra things, but yeah, you'll definitely what do they call it, understand the language, what's going on. From there, what I like to do is just chuck the smallest film of, because this is Bendix grease too, just here so that we don't have any sticking issues in the future. And then same thing here. They actually recommend you do this. So
Is that just like a squeal, or is that?
so what this will do is it'll allow the brakes to let go. Say a lot of the times pistons will into the back of these and you won't be able to, the piston won't come off, and then that's what you get your squealing and all that kind of stuff.
When it rusts against it, you mean?
Yeah. And that one's good. So then what we're going to do is, so we don't damage the caliper, and that's it, mate. Pretty straightforward. Again, a couple of little things.
It's good for me to see that, because it's like if I ever have to do a push job on the side of the road somewhere for some ungodly reason,
Yeah.
I know I can pop the brakes out.
Alright guys, so the rain got super heavy and I was running my own schedule, so the footage kind of got a bit average, but going through this is a 2008 Range Rover. It's got the turbo diesel engine in it. It's got these huge brakes on it, and they're pretty straightforward to service in terms of they are, you know, the kind of standard cartridge style brake. So when you're doing it, pretty much follow the same principles you see me do all the time when I change brakes, in terms of cleaning, making sure everything is sitting perfectly, and making sure that when you are going to be putting the parts on, make sure to compare everything, tighten everything down by hand, finish it all off so you know that you have done it and checked correctly. So as you can see here, I kind of follow all the other little things I do. Chuck a bit of grease on the back of the pads, knock these pins in. There isn't a test drive, but I chucked this new brake wear indicator in, which is, or sensor, which is a little bit too short, but I made it work for him, so it shouldn't have any issues there. And as you can see, everything turned out well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.